Welcome everyone to week 5 of the SPL. A little late on the upload, but thank you all so much for understanding. It's been super busy with Valorant casting and everything else, but I'm excited to head into this week's matches. Also, I just gotta say, I got this Pokemon sweater at EUIC at the Pokemon Center, and it might be the ugliest piece of clothing, Pokemon clothing that I've bought. This is the first time I'm wearing it. It's super comfy. I'll give it that. I thought it was kind of like ugly in a quirky way at first, but no, I'm actually just starting to think it's ugly. So let me know what you think of this sweater. Yeah, I think I regret wearing it and buying it. That's okay. We have a match to talk about. So we're going up against none other than Aaron Cybertron Zheng this week. And a little background history. Aaron was my opponent, my first round opponent in the playoffs of the WBE, my very first draft league, how I got introduced to VGC. And his prep is crazy. He knew everything that I was about to do. I had switched up some things so he couldn't out-prep it. And he even knew that I was going to do that. It was crazy. So going up against him this week, I wanted to try something a little different. So this is his team. Right away, there are some clear things to talk about. Cresselia, Ursaluna, well, that's Trick Room. Grimmsnarl with the screens mitigate the damage as well as Wo-Chien, especially when I have a lot of physical attackers. That can make things a little not so fun. Spectre being able to just be a fast special attacker. Enamorous as well. Contour is superpower. Like, there is a lot of annoying things here. Plus, Torracat, Intimidate, little fake out. So, going into this, I prepped a little differently than I normally do. So, normally I have a couple of people to help me out, and they weren't available. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to give the best crack at this myself and just make something goofy, something silly. So, yeah. This is what we ended up picking. I put the I'll put the Pokepaste in the description below too, but looking at all of this ways for him to stop the damage. I'm like, okay, focus energy on 2 of my Pokemon so I can get critical hits. I'm also going to bring my own screen, so if he's going to slow down the game, I'm going to make sure that he can't damage me either. I'm also bringing Misty Terrain on the Gallade because with this Ursaluna and the Flame Orb, I think this would be a really good way to stop that in its tracks. I think the biggest thing here is that I'm completely disrespecting Trick Room, but I also think that going into this, if he's not really damaging me or I'm offering that same pressure back, that it could be okay. I don't know. We'll see how that one goes. But I figured if I just do something a little crazier, a little something off the wall, he won't be able to prep against it. Whereas things like stopping the Trick Room, etc., might be a little bit more predictable. So, yeah, it's time to get into the match. Wish me the best of luck. We're 0-4 so far, so I certainly need it. All right, it is time to get into the match. First look at what my opponent has. Yep, this essentially is the Pokemon I expected, except I thought Enamorous was going to come to this match, and it didn't. I actually thought Wo-Chien would also come to this match, and it didn't. So I guess this isn't what I expected. That is okay, though. We've already sent over Terra types, Torracat, Dragon, Cresselia Dark, Ursa Flying, Spectre Water, Tauros Grand, Vivian Dark. Alright, so my biggest thing with this team is I don't want this Spectre to Will-O-Wisp everything, or the Torracat, and I don't want the Ursaluna to get stuff up. So I don't really have a Trick Room answer per se, but I have funny Misty Terrain, which I think is all funny. Then what else do I want to just like pressure? I could already just like start getting like set up, bulk up, you know? Or what else do I want to maybe do? Ogerpon, we'll do this. We'll just go these 4. We'll just go these 4. Good. Torracat, Dragon, Cress, Dark. Double check with Birding, yeah. Vion and Cresselia. Actually, I don't know how fast Vivian is. So, like, my thought and intentions is just go ahead, Misty Terrain, and then set up. I didn't do that. There is a chance to count Compound Eyes and this Galley just go to sleep because I actually don't know how fast Vivian is, and I did not put any speed investment on a single one of my Pokemon. And by not, like, I didn't put a drop of speed investment on any single one of my Pokemon. Because I was like, you know what, if I'm going to disrespect Trick Room, I'm not outspeeding. Like, I'm like, everything on Aaron's team's going to be slower, right? I didn't necessarily, I got a cat. I didn't necessarily think about anything else, but that's fine. Ursa is flying. Oh, just Hurricane. Oh. Focus energy. Just a lot of damage to the Galley. So, Vivian is faster than both of those things. Oh, this is just like, they just said no Gallade. All right. Well, I've already set terrain, so that's fine. What is it about Gallade that was like so dangerous? That is my question. That is my, you know, of all of this. Okay. Go into the, which one do I want? Just when resist them. The only thing that like sucks is Vid's Compound Eyes. Go into this though. So Moonblast, but I don't think Moonblast would do the most amount of damage. In all honesty, this should be an attack boost. Yeah, I don't know what I did with any of the EVs, so we're just gonna double into the crest. Nope. Easy peasy. The Vivian with Hurricane, like that's a 70% for Hurricane. All right, so the Hurricane. I gotta write notes. Well, a cat's in my lap. Cresselia. Moonblast. Was there the thought maybe that I was gonna just like press Trick Room, try and reverse? To try and like catch Aaron trying to set Trick Room, and then like I'm trying to reverse it, so he's just attacking me so that I don't know, because then he would kill me before anything happened. I don't know. I don't know what's so scary with the Gallade. I'm okay with Gallade not being here. Hurricane, yep. Oh my gosh, that was so much damage. All right. Mental Herb. Okay. All right. These Hurricanes are doing a lot of damage. Like, actually an unbearable amount of damage. Like, I'm not really messing with the amount of damage that's coming out here right now, Leon. What else? Okay. What do we think has come to the match? What's actually kind of interesting with the Ursaluna, with the fact that it's the flying terrestrialization, is that you could just flying it and then it's all good. But we don't have Trick Room, and there's not actually another way to set up Trick Room now that the crest is gone. So even if the Ursa does come out, that's still not going to be in the greatest of positions, right? So I don't like that this Vivian is faster than my Ogerpon, but like, again, that's what I get for... I don't even know how fast this butterfly is supposed to be. Let me... Okay, so it is Ursaluna. Like, so, is it... So, I think that there is actually a world here. A legitimate world where this Ursaluna terrestrializes and protects. It gets burned. Which is kind of funny. Do we count on a miss? No, I'm just gonna protect. We'll see how much this knockoff does. Okay, no terrestrialization. Does Ursa protect? Nope, also just attacks. Brings it down to Sash. Cool. Just Facade. Okay. Sash. I think I just want to get rid of it, honestly. And then we'll swap out into the Corviknight. Okay. He actually has, like, a decent amount of speed investment on this Vivian, if not just, like, straight up max. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that, Hurricane's gonna do the most. I lose the focus energy, but there is no screen, so that's actually fine. And that's something, too, to note in this very, from the beginning, too. Hurricane, this should be taken decently well. Yeah, no confusion. Knock off, just get rid of that. Earthquake, perfect. Yep, Grove's fine. Roaring Moon is okay. Okay. What is last? It is Spectre. Okay. Okay, so the weird thing about this is Spectre would probably actually be kind of fast. Just want to do this. I just double into it. What Terra is it again? Spectre, I didn't get that in my notes. Is water. I still think it's probably a good call, though. I don't know. I actually don't know the Spectre House. The thing is if it Will-O-Wisps into my Corviknight to try and slow it down, then that happens. I mean, I would be able to KO it with Roaring Moon. But this also works, so... Grenade, special attack. Yep. There's Iron Head for some damage into it. Not too much. Side. No damage. Okay. Okay, so Ursaluna is now a little scary. The Spectre is also a little scary. And this is where I have some slight regrets about no speed investment. Especially because this thing is going to be very fast. So... I think just, again, attack into it. It should be... Like, I might take another Facade on the Corviknight, which kind of sucks. But I should be able to catch one of these into the Ogerpon, because I feel like the Ogerpon can't get disrespected here, because it can just go for an Ivy Cudgel. Right. Man, I felt silly for totally disrespecting Trick Room, but we're not getting Trick Room. All right, is this going to be Spectre into the water? Okay, no, and this into the flying. Okay, is there like a Terra Blast? Spectre Protect. All right, what's... Oh, just not... No, it's to drop the weakness. It's to drop the weakness, Sierra. You're silly. Though I feel like this was risky, because if I just doubled up into the Ursa... Called out my Protect. But, like, yeah, it goes back to, like, isn't that risky? If I just doubled into the Ursa, isn't it just, like, a really bad spot there? Call out. Good call out. I feel like I just gotta, like, go for it, right? I kind of need some health back. Shadow Ball, yeah. I think with how this falls, this is not gonna look good for me. Respect. Shadow Ball. Ooh, that does a lot more now. That does a lot more. Okay. I definitely don't think this game is going to go my way in any world. Oh, and I don't even have Protect. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. We get to see how much a Shadow Ball does to me, which is going to be good information for me. I guess it was at +2, so that actually is not relevant information for me. Okay. Okay, now I gotta think, because this was not the team that I expected going into this at all. I was looking at Grimmsnarl, I was looking at this Wo-Chien, and I was looking at Trick Room, and I was like, all right, he's gonna be able to set up screen to get the Trick Room as the Wo-Chien to like mitigate all of this damage, you know, all of this other stuff. I did not expect whatever just happened. And this is making me very regretful that there was no instances of putting any sort of speed control on my team. I didn't feel the need to Terrasilize anything else throughout that match, though. So I actually think that I'd be good to, in this next match, go ahead and... oh, words are hard. Terrasilize the Ogerpon. I also think, too, so Gallade... Okay, so I gotta think. So, I just went for damage on the very first turn. My worry is I don't want to get swept by the Ursa in Trick Room. That's my worry. Trying to think. I'm looking at my paste. Where and how can I switch it up? On lead. I want to lead the Roaring Moon. That could maybe be good. Maybe Roaring Moon and Ogerpon in the lead. Carbonite back. This to contend with the Spectre? No, yes, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Frankly, I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Like I said, how he played that is not what I expected when I looked at his roster of Pokemon, his draft. So I went into this already kind of like, la-di-da, I'm just not going to let you do this, or this, to then have it change up. So, okay, we're going to see the same lead here. I think the biggest thing is Okay, so actually Crest is dark, right? Yeah, Terra dark. The first turn I focused energy, and I don't really think that I needed to do that, considering everything. I'm curious if I just... Okay, well, if I Terastallize, then I'm not going to get hit super effective by the VP on. But, like, I lift that hit anyways. What if he just, like... Yeah, what if he, like, Terra Darks? We're gonna go for it. Is this potentially silly? Maybe. But I'm making a call that the Cresselia's gonna Terastallize to survive through the turn to set up Trick Room. That's what I'm calling. So with this, a Terra Fairy into it is going to be very, very nice. And if it doesn't, then it is what it is. Alright. Alright! No, my Roaring Moon! He's so sleepy! Alright, is this where we now get to see the Cresselia just go ahead and, like, set up Trick Room? Oh my god, I do no damage. Okay, it is just Moonblast. At least, like, the Roaring Moon takes the hit, because, you know, yeah. Okay, we're gonna break Sash on this. Since the Crest didn't Terastallize, I don't think it would... well, I guess, like, it didn't have to because, it, like, new Sleep Powder was gonna land. So we're just gonna go for a knockoff into the slot, and so I can break Sash on the Vivillon. Which then, this does make me feel better about not Terastallizing the Ogerpon, because then I wouldn't have just, like, a natural, like, Sleep Powder immunity, right? So, oh my god, why are my bangs doing that? Anyone with bangs out there, like, you know this, like, some days they're just like, no, they just don't feel like it. And today's one of those days, you know? It's just one of those days. Okay. Ooh, this is the Ursaluna. I just Ivy Cudgeled in that slot. All right, Ogerpon, how much you gonna do? All right, Ogerpon, how much you gonna do? Let's go. This also works. Now he's gonna get burned and he's gonna perish. Let's go. You won't perish this turn because you don't take Flame Orb. You don't take damage the first turn. But that is awesome. So this thing only sticks around for one turn. Oh, unless Crest, doesn't Crest have Life Dew? Or, like, doesn't Crest have, like, something of that sort? Okay. Which again means that, like, I just need to wake up sooner rather than later. Man, how much attack did I put into my Ogerpon? How much attack? Should I be mad about this? Yeah, I am not max attack because I did focus energy. If I was max attack, I kill that. So these sliders, like these slider EVs did not work out in my favor. At all, actually. But it's also whether this Chris has access to that. All right, filling out my sheet. Hurricane, Sleep Powder, U-turn. Which one is this on? Okay. So is there like a Life Dew-esque option here? Lunar Blessing, that's what it is. I was like, I know there's like some sort of like Healy type thing, right? Terrifying. Ooh. Remember, Sierra, when you talked about like the Terra Blast, and then you were like, yes, this could be a possibility, and then you just like kind of forgot about it being a possibility? Do you remember that? Do you remember that? Yeah. And that doesn't even get the KO there. Cool. Love that for me. The thing is I can't even be passive because Alright, so Corviknight should take a hit at least, which is going to be like the only saving grace, but it also just doesn't do the much damage, which is then going back to scary. But like, I also have to hit into this. Like, I don't really have a choice. So, and then probably just hit into the Cress again. Or do I Terra Blast into the Ursa just in case? Or do I try and get rid of the Cresselia? The thing is the Cresselia will keep, like, Lunar Velocine, right? Gravity. No, he's bringing my Corviknight down to the ground! No! He's gonna get Earthquaked! No, Corviknight, no! No, spread damage, though. Oh, bro, I just got bodied. I got bodied! Dang it. Yeah. This doesn't fare well for my poor little Chi-Yu. All alone. Oh, man. This game is very different if I actually just invest a smidge more attack into my Ogre Pawn. But I was like, that's fine. Hi, Chi-Yu. Hi. All right, how many turns Trick Room is he? He's got to make it through 2 turns of Trick Room. And then I'm just going to get put to sleep. So, like, I can't even go for, like, well, like, you would know, like, at this point, just, like, Earthquake is always safe, right? You know, like, I'll perish. I mean, it could be Sash, so, like, he doesn't know, but, yeah, no, I just lose. That's a GG. Ain't even fight, yes, yeah, because I already used Terastallization, so like it's just so safe, right? And then double up just in case of just that. Yeah, I mean, just go for the triple and hope this Ursa Luna dies. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's as simple as like I didn't invest enough attack EVs into my Ogre Pawn, and the Ursa Luna lived. Sucks. Is what it is, right? I also didn't respect the Vion enough going into this. I genuinely thought things like the Grimmsnarl and Mo-Chien would come instead, or the Enamorus. I was set for the Enamorus, right? Chi-Yu, no! That's okay, Chi-Yu. You tried your best, little fish. You tried your best. GG's. I mean, it is what it is. Maybe I should learn how to EV my Pokemon better. The strategy of if I don't know what if I don't know what I'm doing, he doesn't know what I'm doing, doesn't work. When I didn't know what he was doing in all of that first game whatsoever. So, is what it is. GG's. Good job. Oof, our record. So that is now a 0-5 in the league. We've tried everything. Is what it is. Taking a loss to Aaron, like, it is what it is. I don't think I've ever won against Aaron. I don't think I ever will win against Aaron. It's just one of those things. So I'm not beating myself up about this loss as much. I mean, when I'm making a misplay in the game itself, like with the last week, that's when it's like, oh, I'm really, really mad about this. But like, I picked the EV spreads. I locked it in. Once we get to the game, I did a cool play and it wasn't enough. And it was just like, bummer. Like, what else can I do besides then, right? Like, I clicked the play. It was cool, but it is what it is. But hoping we can have a bounce back next week. I already have some ideas on how we can counter some of Marco's team. That's going to be our next opponent. So, yeah, we'll see if this is where we can make the comeback now. We just have to go undefeated. Like, we just have to win 5 best of 3s of Pokemon. Like, it's not that's not that hard. But, again, thank you all so much for watching. Sorry that I couldn't win this one for you guys, but at least if you had somewhere to be, at least I lost quickly. Cope. Thank you all for watching me and my ugly sweater play some more Pokemon. I'll see you next week. Later.